Yo, welcome back to the No Hedging Podcast. I am your host, Ty the Fly Jet. I'm here with my co-host,
Rip 16, the GOAT, man. You already know what time it is.
Yes, sir. And we are back with another episode of the takeaway video from the NFL Championship round.
Yes, sir.
The AFC and the NFC Championship round. We got a couple takeaways.
It was a big one.
A big one. A very interesting weekend.
For sure.
And we about to get into all that. So before we do, make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Want to give a shout out to all of the new subscribers that we have over the past couple weeks. We appreciate your support. And another shout out to all of you haters out there. We appreciate your support as well. So
appreciate the few.
yeah. So keep doing what you do. It's not gonna do anything but drive us to do more. So we appreciate the support in either fashion, man. So
yes, sir.
Let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're gonna talk about the first game on the slate from the AFC NFC Championship weekend.
You was gonna start off with that.
What you was gonna start off with?
I had a takeaway. I had a takeaway. It was kind of from the game, but it wasn't from the game. My takeaway was it is the Chiefs.
Okay.
But fuck all that with the game. I want to talk about that swag surf y'all been doing. On behalf of Atlanta and the Atlanta delegation, if y'all gonna steal our shit and do a swag surf, at least be on beat. All right, it's left to right, left to right. You swag, then you surf. You watch you surf. You see how my hands are still going left to right? I don't know what y'all doing when y'all swag surfing in the stands. And if y'all go to that goddamn Super Bowl and embarrass our music like that again, I'm pulling up. I ain't got no ticket, but I'm going to pull up and I'm going to be there. And I'm putting foots in you. So that was my first takeaway. That was terrible. Taylor Swift, get on beat. All right?
Hey, man.
Because you got a lot of people following you. And I know you know not what you do. But fix that. Because I ain't like it. Not one bit.
Well, get it off your chest.
Now you can get to the game. That's been on my spirit. Go ahead.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the game, man. The AFC Championship, Baltimore Ravens at home versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs were on the road again for another road playoff game. And the Ravens were favored by 3.5 points starting off the week, and then it ended up going up to like 4.5.
Yeah.
So over the week, the line started rising, and a lot of people was on the Ravens. But unfortunately for the Ravens, they came out flat and did not perform. And the Kansas City Chiefs came in there into the bank, and they dominated the game for the most part.
They did. All credit due to the Chiefs on that one. They came through as a team. They really executed on both sides of the ball. Travis Kelce stepped up real big in that game. I think you and I talked on Sunday before game time briefly, and we talked about that, and I was like, yeah, I had Rashee Rice going under on the yards. I think they had him at like 61 or something on Sunday. I was like, nah, he going under. I was like, if the Chiefs gonna pull this off, they gotta have a big game from Kelce, and that's exactly what he showed up, and he played very well.
11 targets, 11 catches, 16 yards.
The boy went off
in the touchdown.
The boy went off.
Past Jerry Rice
for
receptions in the postseason.
That's crazy.
As a tight end.
Yeah, that's crazy. So Travis Kelce did just that. He cooked up. Patrick Mahomes came out, played a good game, man. He scrambled, a few times, made some timely plays, getting the ball downfield. He made the game sealing deep pass to MVS. He just made a lot of good timely plays when he needed to, and also the defense did.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Spags, man.
Spags was dialing it the fuck.
He was on that phone, man. He was dialing it up.
All right. They was on him. They had a lot of pressure on Lamar. So every play, he couldn't really get anything to develop. And I was like, yeah, in that first half when he only had 5 completions, one of them to himself, I said, yeah, they in trouble. He only getting 5 passes in a whole half.
Disappointment.
But they dominated time of possession too. And that was another way they really equalized, some of that dynamic offense that we saw out of the Ravens, and we just did not see it this game.
Yeah, I mean, first drive of the game, man, Chiefs go down the field just striking. Boom, boom, boom. No negative plays. Right. Converting on 3rd down.
Right.
Converting on 4th down.
Right.
And they punch the Ravens in the mouth first drive.
Yeah.
Then they come back, get a stop. Ravens couldn't get anything going.
That whole first half, they were pretty flat.
Yeah, that Ravens defense was pretty flat. That opening script for the Chiefs was very well orchestrated. They were very efficient. They were taking everything that the Ravens was giving them. And like I said, converting on third down is kind of what, led to the Chiefs getting that lead. The Ravens could not get any stops, and they could not get off the field defensively in the first half. And the offense just couldn't get going. They didn't have a rhythm. It just seems like offensively, they didn't run the ball enough. They did not run the ball enough.
It was the number one rushing team, so I would expect them to have a much better game rushing-wise, especially after you having so many struggles with the pass. But I think what happened, especially in that second half, because they weren't generating anything, weren't moving anything, they kind of had to pass to get something going.
Yeah.
But it almost seemed like Lamar Jackson was kind of holding back on rushing.
Mm-hmm. He didn't want to
run. We've been giving him credit and praise not just for running and passing this season, but picking his spots very well to run and pass. And I don't know if it was all the pressure and blitzes that kind of threw his rhythm off, and he was a little frustrated, visibly during the game. A couple drives where he had to do 3 and outs. You could see he was frustrated. But I don't know. I just didn't see his level of efficiency and selection and timing on when to run like I've seen him do more this season. So I expected that a little bit more in that game. But again, I think a lot of that was credit to the Chiefs, because some of the times he was scrambling, he got pressure on him, but they covered. They blanketed downfield. It's like nobody's open for real.
Yeah, I mean, they had some of the best corners in the league with Snead and McDuffie. These are all pro corners. So man-to-man coverage, you're going to be in trouble.
They did their job.
And they like you said, they blanketed those receivers down the field, which, took away Lamar Jackson's first read. Yeah. And he was, found himself like holding the ball a little bit longer.
Yeah, he tried
to find something down the field.
And I still seen some highlights out of him. He tried to reset the pocket, a few times, small scramble, shifting over, resetting his pocket, giving his receivers some time to get open, but they just were not getting open.
You got to take off, man. You got to take off.
But at that point, you got to take off.
It's like the game plan was put the ball in Lamar's hands, let him take over the game and win the game for us. And they didn't give him any help in the run game. Like, they did very well rushing the football when they did rush it with Gus Edwards and Justice Hill, but
they were trying to pass to the backs a little bit more.
They didn't stick to it. They didn't run the ball enough. Like, I think, you have to help your quarterback out, by running the football. You are the Baltimore Ravens. You are built on physicality, running the ball. Like you alluded to, number one rushing team, yards, attempts, all of that. But you get away from who you are. You get away from your identity.
They're dropping back the pass way too many times.
I think, just overall, like, you can't put a lot of the blame on Lamar Jackson. Some of it, absolutely. But a lot of it is, like, play calling, too. Like, I'm watching the game. I'm like, run the freaking ball. What are we doing? Run the ball.
Because it's not like they were down by that much to not be able to run the ball in the second half. Coming out in that third quarter, I thought after only having 5 completions in that first half, one being to himself, I thought, okay, they're going to come out in the second half. They're going to run.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Nah, it's like they kept pressing to try to get that big play down the field.
They're trying to get him rolling. They're trying to get Lamar rolling.
Big explosive play down the field.
And to their credit, though, they did call better pass plays because he did start getting more completions. He started moving the ball, but they had 2 unfortunate turnovers. Like Zay Flowers diving for the end zone. L'Jarius Sneed, credit to him again.
Knocked the ball
not
at the
giving
one.
Up on the play. He's running at the 1 mid-air. The wide receiver's diving. He knocks the ball out right before he gets through. So, I don't know if Zay cut his hand on that play or something. But
he sat on the bench. He slammed his hand on the bench and cut his hand.
Oh, he did it after frustration. I wasn't sure if that was during the play or after, but yeah. So I mean, credit to L'Jarius Sneed again, not giving up on the play. They just had a lot of tenacity on defense, and they really came out there and pressed the issue, whether it be blitz and pressure on the quarterback or it be tackling and plays like that. Covering in the secondary, blanketing, pick off in the end zone when
taking
they got
the ball
a shot,
away, man. 3 turnovers. 3 turnovers. It's a lot. You lose the turnover battle in the playoffs, chances are you're gonna lose the game.
And that's what happened. Let me ask you this though. I was thinking about it over the weekend, right? So, Patrick Mahomes at this point returning for his 52nd Super Bowl in 5 years or some shit.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes at this point, he has a chance to go back to back. Nobody else has done that since Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
If he manages to beat the 49ers in this Super Bowl, right? Do you think this is like the beginning of that GOAT conversation for Patrick Mahomes?
I think it's been that conversation.
Oh, you think he already in it?
Yeah, that conversation's been there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is his sixth season in the league as a start. Well, sixth season as a
Sixth
starter.
season, yeah. Six.
And
52 Super Bowls in 6 seasons is crazy.
Yeah, so he's been to the Super Bowl like 5 times already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 1, 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, bro.
This is fifth, right?
Yeah, he hasn't even played a decade yet.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Close.
So this is the equivalent of Tom Brady and his trajectory, right? They had the same amount. Well, Brady had 3 Super Bowls in his first 7 years.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So now, Pat got 2. So it's like, all right, I think Pat Mahomes is more talented than Tom Brady as far as skill set, running the ball, better arm, better arm talent. So I just think, I think over time, as long as he stays in this system.
I think we gassed him a little bit. I don't think he got that many Super Bowl appearances. I think this will be his 4th.
His 4th?
I think this is his 4th, if I'm not mistaken, because they won 2. He lost 1 to Brady, so I think that was 3.
Okay, so it's 4th.
So this is 4.
Okay, yeah. Either way,
beat the 49ers before.
Yeah, either way, the dude he's on that.
He's
path.
pretty phenomenal.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He's him. You know what I'm saying? So, the league know the league know what they're doing. They got their next poster boy. Patrick Mahomes is the poster boy of the league. Brady was it for 20 years. Now Patrick Mahomes is it now for the next 20 years. So, they're gonna make sure that them boys gonna be relevant to a degree.
No, for sure. I think Pat, if he manages to pull off another Super Bowl win, I think he has a very strong campaign for that GOAT conversation. And
well, he got to get 7.
I mean, he got a long way to go.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, get started. I'm not.
You got to get.
I'm
7.
not being premature, but
yeah, you got to get 7.
He's getting started, and I think it's pretty phenomenal what he did. And I think the Chiefs started clicking at the right time. We talk about that a lot. It's like with basketball and football, it's really about when you start playing well.
Mm-hmm. You gotta play well in December. December and January.
Hot in December really increases your chances of making that Super Bowl run, and I think the Chiefs managed to put together a pretty phenomenal season in order to be able to accomplish that. I did not see them doing what they did to that Ravens defense, but credit to them on offense, and also the defense has continued to play well. They've been the most consistent part of that team all season. And, they managed to stifle the very tough Ravens.
Yeah, they didn't even do nothing in the second half. They were just efficient.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They just played good.
They was just very efficient. Like I said, converting on 3rd down, converting on 4th down. Like Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes shit, making circus passes. Travis Kelce making a circus grab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and these on key downs. So, everything was just kind of clicking.
And they even had a couple penalties and whatnot, and they were able to bounce back from that because it was supposed to be like a Rashee Rice touchdown, got called back for holding, then they had another holding call back to back. So they went through a little bit of adversity, but they recovered and
the
they
Ravens
were consistent.
went through adversity and they did recover. Yeah, same thing. Penalties, turnovers.
Yeah, the penalties killed them.
Like in the wrong moments. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people talking about the refs, but all of those flags were warranted.
I'm not putting down the refs because I think the Chiefs just played better.
Yeah, they outplayed.
Like all around, they just played better on both sides of the football. So much credit to the Chiefs, man. You're going back to another Super Bowl to fight for your right to party. Much credit to them. But that was another game.
Yeah.
Of the championship weekend. And that one was a lot larger of a roller coaster. I'll say that.
Oh my God.
The second game we had,
the Lions are gonna lion.
I'm not shitting on the Lions, okay? Because I'll say this about the Lions, right? The Lions fought hard all season. they're one of those gritty teams. Mm-hmm. They're one of those teams that
bite your kneecaps.
Right. They're gonna fight back. They're not folding. They're gonna be aggressive with the play calling, with the run game. Jared Goff pushing the ball downfield. You know, wide receivers getting yards after catch. Seeing Amon-Ra St. Brown turn some plays into first downs that were not first downs. Mm-hmm. You know, I seen them play the way I seen the Lions play in the first half. However, they were up 17 points, and I'm not going to call it Falcon-esque, but they was up 17 points in the first half, and what the hell happened in the second half, bro? What happened when they came out of the locker room?
Well, what happened was they got too caught up in their ways, right? Okay. When you in these moments, man, I don't care if you're up 3 scores in a championship game, in a game to get you to go to the Super Bowl, you stay up 3 scores.
And Dan Campbell even kicked a field goal.
He did kick a field goal.
I was like, Dan is kicking a field goal?
Right.
What?
Which was the right call.
That was the right call. I'm like,
so why not continue to have the same right call throughout the game?
Yeah, it went for it on a couple fourth downs. That was questionable.
Now, granted, if Reynolds catches that pass and Reynolds catches then, you know, the story is different.
That's who they've been all season. That's what got them there. So I understood the logic. Like, and he said before the game, like, he's going to stick to his plan. What he
I don't care. If this would been, they lost that, they gave that game to the 49ers.
They did.
They handed it to him.
One of those fourth downs.
And I blame Dan Campbell for that. Because
one of those fourth downs, instead of going for it, you can take a field goal.
Take the field goal and you still stay up 3 possessions.
No, I'm talking about in the second half after the lead was blown. He went for it on fourth down, and one of those, he was in field goal range. Mm-hmm. He could have kicked the field goal. Mm-hmm. They would have been down by 1, right? But there was another play where he scored, and I believe didn't they go for 2?
No, I don't think it went for 2.
No. It wasn't for 2. It was something else they did. I'm mixing up with the game they had last week. But they had opportunities to take a field goal, and going for it and not converting those fourth downs really killed them. Because it ended up being a 3-point game. So, you know, you can blame Dan Campbell, yes, but also the defense, though, to give up all those unanswered points.
No, listen, I understand that. You want to, but at the same time, bro, when it's a momentum sport. It's a momentum sport. So on that first fourth down where they were in field goal range and they could have still been up 3 scores.
Right.
It was 4th and 2. They went and threw it to Reynolds and he dropped it.
Right.
If you still kick that field goal, you still have the momentum. You miss it on 4th and 2. Now you just gave all the momentum back to the 49ers.
Right.
But you stay up 3 scores because there are only so many possessions that you have throughout a game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in the second half of the game. And time is going to run out for the 49ers.
Right. And speaking of that, too, it was another play. Now I'm recalling the play I was thinking about. When they were on third down, they were on 3rd and goal. I understood it, but they decided to do a handoff to Montgomery and got stopped. Mm-hmm. He gets stopped. They have to burn one of those 3 timeouts.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about at the end, at the fourth quarter.
Of the game.
Yeah, you're talking about fourth quarter.
That was a crucial possession as well because, you know, they make the decision to say, okay, we're going to trust Montgomery to get this.
The game was lost at that point.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. The game was over at that point. It was done.
I think they had a better shot.
The game was done.
That was the difference between them doing an onside kick and kicking the ball downfield and getting 3 stops.
The game was over at that point because what happened was this is when it got out of hand. They fucked up, didn't get that 4th down conversion. 49ers get the ball. They drive down the field. They score.
Yeah.
Right? Detroit get the ball back, fumble.
Yeah.
Now 49ers score again. Yeah. Right? Detroit get the ball. Don't do anything with it. I think they went for it again, 4th down or some shit like that.
Defense stepped up. Warner and those guys,
the defense
Law
started
came
playing,
out there.
And they started playing away from what got them up to begin with, which was running the football because the 49ers damn sure couldn't stop no run in the first half.
No.
They rushed for over 130 yards in the first half.
Yeah, that was killing them.
So why not keep that same formula? And you can still, if that's what got you there, you play conservative, you take the points, and you continue to run the ball because they weren't stopping it. Now you get stopped on 4th down. You give the 49ers momentum. They go down the field. They score. Now they got momentum. Now you get the ball back. You fumble because all the momentum shifted. Now the crowd is back into the game.
Well, that's why I said I don't want to say it's Falcon-esque, but it was kind of Falcon-esque.
It is, bro. Your coach cost you the game.
Because that first half, you could have ran.
Yeah.
You could have kept running after you had a successful first half of rushing.
And
second half,
and take the points. In the playoff, in the AFC, in the NFC Championship game, in the Super Bowl, in big-time games, you take the points. You stay up 3 scores. Like I said, the key is, I don't care what the analytics say. If you up 3 scores and it's in the second half, the opposing team only has so many possessions to come back.
Right.
And you don't anticipate on not scoring on a possession when you get the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in the way that you've been playing, controlling the ball in the first half, running the ball, they can't stop anything in the first half. You take that same mentality and apply it, right? You don't give the 49ers all the momentum back, right? Now, you can put blame on the defense for allowing all that to happen, but shit, the coach put their defense in that situation.
Okay.
Take the points, take the momentum off of them. Now the defense going back out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, we can't even.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, we know Dan Campbell's style. Dan Campbell was doing what he's been doing, and we didn't complain when the shit worked.
If he don't change his style, they still won't go to no Super Bowl ever. As long as
we didn't complain when it worked.
Yeah, but I'm saying in moments, I don't care what your style is. There's a time to be aggressive, and there's a time to not be aggressive. There's a time for that. I don't care what your identity is. You have to play smart at the end of the day. You can't be a dummy in situation. That's situational football.
Okay.
Games are won in situational football.
Okay, well, let me ask you about this, right? So, for the new people who are new here, like we started receiving some flack, right? We started receiving some flack. They said we hating on Purdy. We hating on Purdy.
Nah.
Never hated on Purdy.
Not one bit.
Life, right? Purdy said himself he did not play well last week.
No, he didn't.
He said he did not have his best game, is what I believe he said himself.
Against the Packers, yeah.
Against the Packers. However, he did put together a game-winning drive. And I heard a couple of people, mention that. So much credit to him for that. Now, coming from a 17-point deficit in the second half and coming back and winning that game, I think Purdy is building up his campaign even more by putting together games like this, right? Coming off of not your best game, you turn around and you come out here and you come from behind and you have a game. You have a game where you down by 17 and come back and win to go to the Super Bowl. That's the type of shit legends are made of, right? But I think he's building up a little clutch gene. He's starting to come back. He's starting to get that in him, which I don't think they necessarily had that last season. A lot of times when the 49ers were playing, they would win the game, but they would just dominate people. And I seen that last season when I was like, yeah, I kind of like this Purdy kid. Like, he's doing really good. But in a lot of those games, if you pay attention, they were already up, and they were just blown out. Yeah. And he started to face some adversity, right? This season, he's starting to face some adversity, and he's starting to punch back. So that's what I do like about Purdy for everybody who thinks that I'm hating on Purdy. I'm just saying, I like him, but if you didn't have your best game, I'm also going to say you didn't have your best game. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and Purdy, he played well.
He did.
Okay. But let's not get it twisted. He got bailed out by that crazy. He threw an interception, which should have been an interception that bounced off of Vildor's helmet, and Brandon Ayuk caught it on the 1 yard line. So let's not get it twisted. That was a pick. If you throwing that down the field to an all-pro, they picking that ball off.
Right.
If that's Antoine Winfield, that's a pick.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If that's Kyle Hamilton, that's a pick. So let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
That happened in the game. So a little bit of luck played his role in this game as well. So let's not get it twisted. Yeah. But nevertheless,
he said, "Don't wrap me up."
Yeah, nevertheless, he did play well. He scrambled on crucial plays to get first down.
His rushing game looked good.
Yeah,
he picked some great spots to take off running.
He did what Lamar didn't do.
He did. I expected Lamar Jackson to do what Purdy
did.
Right.
So Purdy, much credit to Purdy. He did what he had to do. He didn't turn the ball over in the second half. Right. He put the team in position to score and win. They scored on pretty much every drive in the second half. So Purdy did what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Now
McCaffrey, they handed the ball to McCaffrey. He got 20 carries, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Right. Mm-hmm. Crazy thing is that looks like a regular stat line for Christian McCaffrey.
It is.
You know, it's not supposed to be, but
that's a light day.
Yeah, and Deebo Samuel went back and forth with us. What's my boy Gardner Johnson? Mm-hmm. Early in the season, and hell looked like he came out victorious in this 89 yards and 8 receptions in the game and a dub from a come from behind win. So, said all that to say, right, credit to the 49ers for what they put together in that second half. Thought Detroit had them.
They had them, man. Had them on
at
the ropes.
Halftime.
Had them on the ropes.
They just looked like they
had them on the ropes.
All of the momentum
running down their throat. They could not stop the run.
But the second
and then Jared Goff was lighting them up. Jared Goff played a phenomenal game in the first half, protecting the ball, making the right throws. The 49ers defense had no answers.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
But second half, they stepped up. They got stops. They got sacks, and they got turnovers, and that's what changed the game.
So yeah, they did a phenomenal job out there. They put together something great. What do you make of Ben Johnson saying that he's not leaving, he's gonna stay?
I mean, he knows that they should have been in the Super Bowl.
They should have been in the Super Bowl.
He knows that.
Yeah.
And he knows he has the team for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the team for it. I think what's gonna happen next time is somebody's gonna talk to Dan Campbell and be like, nah, coach.
Yeah, and I think they also in the offseason gonna make some upgrades in that secondary.
Oh yeah, that's much needed.
Yeah, they definitely need it.
Much needed.
They getting beat at cornerback, man.
Yeah, Cam Sutton getting cooked, man. He just
getting cooked.
He was on a skillet. My boy Cam Sutton was on a skillet, man. I texted that in the group. I said, hey man, my boy on a skillet right now. Debo was tearing him up.
He was.
Frying him up.
So hopefully they make some secondary upgrades.
Nah, but Ben Johnson is a solid OC. I love how he calls the game. OC. I love how he calls the game.
I think
very aggressive, very like smart. It's like, okay, run. Okay, we got 7 yards. Okay, couldn't stop it. Run. Okay, we got another 5 yards. Couldn't stop it. Okay, run. It's not. He doesn't get too cute a lot. Some of these offensive coordinators, they try to get a little too cute and try to do too much.
And he passed that ball in the middle of the field. He's going to set up some plays for them to catch in the middle of the field. I do like that, too. They're not scared to go across the middle. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to send some slants. They're going to send a tight end. They're going to send Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're going to mix it up.
Because the middle of the field.
And they rely on yards after catch a lot, too. So he's not going to – they'll pass downfield, but they'll get some short yardage plays and turn them into long plays.
Like the middle of the field is high percentage throws, bro.
Right.
Like if you throw it to the outside, it's low percentage. So it's smart football. You throwing it in the middle of the field, inside the numbers, inside the hashes. That's where the quarterback's vision is most clearest.
And they gritty, you know what I'm saying? Because that's also where you're going to get your ass hit.
Yeah, you got to have some tough guys.
But
man.
He got some tough guys, and he understands like the tenacity that the team play with. So I really do like Ben Johnson. I thought the Falcons would have tried to wait to the end of the season to interview him, but looks like he's not going anywhere anyway. So, hey.
Washington probably like rats. They were waiting on him.
Barnacles. But yeah, man, that's our takeaways from this wild championship round weekend, setting us up for a Super Bowl rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. It's
going to be a good one. It's a good one. I'm not mad at it.
It's a good one. It's been a wild season. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do a Super Bowl episode, and, we're going to talk about that for sure when we get to the rundown. Mm-hmm. But we appreciate y'all subbing. Make sure you keep on sharing, commenting, and subscribe to the channel. If you locked in, get a friend to lock in with us. Y'all talk to us in the comments. As you can see, we talk back.
Yeah.
We don't mind mixing it up.
We don't mind getting in the tone wrestling.
Some people getting mad with us, getting some Twitter thumbs like, oh, you hating, not hating. All right.
Just talking about what we see.
Just talking about what we see, but hey, you got an opinion. Go ahead and type it down there in that box. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, man, y'all stay tuned with NHP. Y'all keep showing the love so we can keep showing it back to y'all. And we are out.
Peace.